Hey there, Georgie boy, where's your channel gone? I'm getting the blame. Yeah, I'm going to put this out on Thursday, I think, this week, but I woke up on Wednesday and I just started getting a load of hassle on YouTube and Twitter and everything else, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? Apparently George Cropper's whole channel is completely gone, and I've had some. I've mentioned this on Twitter, I mentioned it on Facebook, and oh God, some simps are coming out of the fucking woodwork, I tell you. It really is absolutely doing my bonce in. Um, what is this? I mean, for anyone who can't, well, if you're reading, if you're on a mobile phone, then you can't read this really what it says because it's in such. They've got all that white space and they just put it in tiny little lettering. This account has been terminated due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy prohibiting content designed to harass, bully, or threaten. Yeah, and apart from Twitter and Facebook, I'm getting comments on various videos as well. But so I thought I may as well make a video about it, so you can, yeah, if you wanna talk shite, just comment on this one. So I just put a tweet out this morning. But the words "By George" was trending. I don't watch I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, the one where they do the going into the jungle, because I have a life. But By George, Boy George, yeah, they're saying By George because Boy George had been evicted from the camp. When I was a kid, he was on Top of the Pops, doing Karma Comedian, and before that, Do You Want to Hurt Me? And yeah, it was quite something back in the early 80s. I must have been about 9, 10 at the time when I saw him. And because as a kid, you're watching it, and in fact all the adults were doing it as well, and it's been recounted on several 80s TV shows and so on. Saying, is that a man or is that a woman? We don't know. So it was like one of the first sort of gender benders, as it were, if I can use that term, because you can't seem to say anything these days. There's a brilliant comedian, Seymour Mace. He played oh shit, what was his name? He was in apart from being a brilliant comedian from the northeast, he played a character in Ideal. I think I know he played can't remember his character. Anyway, if you look at Ideal, the word ideal, the idea being that Johnny Vegas' character Moz dealt drugs. So Ideal. Brilliant series, ran for about 7 series I think, and then BBC Three junked it. They just called time on it, which is a shame, especially since it ended on a cliffhanger. But I think they ended every series on a cliffhanger, just so they could come back. But another channel should have picked it up. It would have been perfect for Channel 4. They would have been the right channel to carry it on, I think, and sadly they didn't. But yeah, so I think he played both his. I think at one point he played. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. I think he played his twin brother as well, Seymour Mace. Anyway, the point was, I was saying you can't say anything these days, and one of the jokes he would have on stage would be, I can't do the northeast accent, but he'd just say, "The other day I went into that PC world." Oh, you got to watch what you're saying there. So yeah, Seymour Mace, if he's on anywhere, go see him. He's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so can we say gender benders? I don't know, but we just didn't know. Either way, the Music from Culture Club was fantastic. But I don't really care about when these people go into a film set on a TV set, film set, whatever it is, on reality TV. It's not for me. So I put By George trending because Boy George apparently got evicted from I'm a Celeb. I thought they were referring to George Cropper, and with a PMSL gif there. I don't know who that is, but it makes me laugh every time. Pop Culture Dump, whoever that is. Retro shenanigans and memes mostly. You nuked his channel. Why would you do that? I said, why have you assumed I've done that? It's no secret that you two don't get on. So you jumped to a conclusion, silly man. He poured out barrels of hate on tons of people, but no, you come to me. He replies, even if you did, you wouldn't admit it. I said, read this, and that's a link to the channel I've just shown you. Read this multiple. That requires more than one person. I'm only one person. And I don't know who that is, but some man eagerly eating popcorn. So, anyway, I'm going to reply back to him. It's memes, not memes. Good Lord. Why do people do this? You know, it's like there, and there. It's just the specific words for specific situations. You use the right one. And if you have, it's not a possessive pronoun or noun or whatever the fuck it is. It's not a possessive pronoun. It's like when you have a name and then apostrophe s for something, or if your name ends with an s that you're using, it's just apostrophe. So you don't have s apostrophe s. Every single damn poster I saw for Bridget Jones's Baby or whatever it was called, the third one. Well, they followed the same ones with Bridget Jones's Diary, and well, not the second one. The second one was Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason. But yeah, Bridget Jones's Diary. No, Jones, Jones apostrophe, not Jones apostrophe s. Anyway, let's just reply that. I'm sure he'll come back with some missive in a moment. So then I looked up George Cropper in general, and who do we come to but Simon Butler, one of the people involved. Well, he wasn't making the Spectrum Next, the ZX Spectrum Next, but he was making games for it. And I don't know, I had him on my Facebook friends list on Facebook, because that's how it works. And for whatever reason, he decided to unfriend me. I don't know why. But I think the reason he did that was because I was friends also with a guy called Adrian Cummings, who's left the scene now, because certain individuals chased him off the scene because he was making Spectrum Next games, and they didn't seem to like that. Even though Simon Butler did have a demo of a game called Monkey McGee, and for whatever reason it never came out. It was quite a decent demo as well, so why didn't put it out? I don't know, but it's just like he was jealous. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. It's just like he was jealous that Adrian had got games out and he hadn't. Well, if you've got written half a game there, finish it off and put it out. It's not rocket science. Anyway, as far as the actual tweet itself, and oh God, aren't you so funny, Simon? You know, I can't believe I don't find you so hilarious. In fact, he goes, instead of DVD Dom, it's VD Dom. Yeah. VD Dom is crowing about the closure of George Cropper's YouTube channel, yet his own is spinning around the S-bend of the internet with no one watching or caring. Yet another sad and lonely nobody. Hashtag retro gaming. Aren't you nice, Simon? I must live rent-free in your brain so much. There was a time when, I'm going back about 4 years. Maybe 4 years, 4 or 5 years? 4 years, I think. It was definitely before 2019. And I had the Spectrum Next to that time. So yeah, it must be 2018. Basically, you made a podcast in which you talked about me and Adrian. Now, it took a while to find it, but you ranted on about the pair of us for about 40 minutes, maybe an hour. And this was all in the middle of a 7.5-hour podcast. You made a 7.5-hour podcast. Who in the bloody hell is going to listen to all that? You know, it's like if I made a gameplay video that lasted 7 hours, how much do you think of that people are going to watch? Not an awful lot. Not unless I'm doing something absolutely amazing throughout it. This is, aside from the video I made, excuse me, I've made a couple of live videos, which was quite amusing. Amusing to me anyway. One was I just made a live video of Hitman 47, just sat down on a park bench in Sapienza. I just set it going when I went to bed, basically. Just sat down, started the level, sat down, and then when I woke up again, I switched the telly back on, and he was still sat there on the bench, and it had been going live all night. And then I just made him pack away his paper and stand up, and then ended the live broadcast, live stream. And that was it. Didn't get many hits, but it was quite amusing to me. And did another one which was about 11 hours or so of Bus Simulator playing by itself. But yeah, no one's got. But making a 7.5 hour podcast is actively doing stuff, and that is fucking sad. Lee Price says, "Is George okay? Worried about them as I know he has health problems." Apparently, someone else commented, because I've got a load of comments on my videos. You got emphysema, which you get by smoking, apparently. Don't smoke. Grumpy Old Gamer, I love George's rants. Yeah, travelling on the end of his false copyright strikes. X-Ray Specs, George is definitely a Marmite persona. But he doesn't suffer fools gladly, and videos were based on facts, even if the invective may have been a bit much sometimes. What, you mean his hate speech? Hopefully he'll be back soon. Well, not on bloody YouTube. Exactly, and why the big YouTube grifters won't entertain him? Because they all have skeletons rammed tight in their cupboards. They actually wet themselves if he mutters their names. I doubt it. And I've seen them all turtle up when he does. They won't even say his name. They call him you-know-who. Crying out for reverse... Dick Shiner says, crying out for a reverse Harry Potter mock-up. He's the Welsh warrior. Well, there's nothing else to do in Wales, is there, apart from go on YouTube or sit outside and watch the sheep. Crying out, no, I love Wales. It's a great place. I once went there and it rained. So it reminded me of home in Manchester. He said, crying out for a reverse Harry Potter mock-up. I've never seen a Harry Potter film. Top Hat Gaming Man as Crab, Lady Decade as Bellatrix, DJ as Nagini, I don't know. All afraid to mention George's name in case he appears. Which one would be Peter Pettigrew? Open to suggestions, known for shape changing, so possibly Ashen. I can remember him having hair. No, me neither. RMC? No, me neither. And here we go. Here's Simon's witticisms again. Stephen Croucher replies to Simon Butler saying, "Who?" And Simon replies, "Exactly. A talentless shut-in and a waste of skin and oxygen. So he's talking to me." Thank you, Simon. I love you so much. Biscuit Collector says, "Thing is, you can't keep George down, and he will only come back stronger like uncured gonorrhea." And we go back up to the top, and there's one retweet. Retweeted by... Oh, I see. I know who retweeted this, because I looked at it earlier. They've obviously blocked me on this channel, but I had to look at them online. Yeah, I was actually looking at it on another browser at the time when I was logged in elsewhere. Michael Flashware, a very long time coder with a penchant for assembler and delights of frustrations of retro games, frustrations of a lot of things. Obviously, Michael. He was friends with me on Facebook as well. And then he just unfriended me. He's one of the people involved in the ZX Spectrum Next. It's a shame, as there are some normal, quite nice people involved. In fact, very nice people involved in the Spectrum Next. Unfortunately, Michael and Simon are not two of them. Fuck knows what his problem is. This is the trouble. If someone just blocks you, they don't tell you why, what their issue is, then there you go. But not everyone's going to like you in life, so why spend time worrying about it? Now, before we carry on, I'll just go to notifications, because I've had a reply. Oh, Pop Culture Dump, like my reply. Memes, not memes, the more you know. Well, there we go. Oh, well, then we go to another tweet, and so this is the one from Retro Laird, Kieran Hawken. He's an odd chap. No wonder Simon's friends with him. Someone has to be. And there's another mention of George Cropper. So there aren't that many, not many people are missing George Cropper. Otherwise the Twitter would be full of it. No point is a great work done mainly by George Cropper mentioned. Oh boy, good lord. I can't be bothered looking through all the rest. Just who cares? Oh, I wonder who that is who retweeted me. Retweeted Simon. Couldn't he give a fuck? So we move on then, and I thought, I wonder if Lady Decade or Top Hat Gaming Man have mentioned him, because, well, when they've tweeted, lots of people have had lots of things to say, and unlike YouTube comments, you can't delete things that other people say. You know, the tweets out there, unless they delete it themselves, it's the person replying to Lady Decade, etc. Then that's going to stay as part of your permanent chain of tweets. Then just before I get to that, I just thought I'd have a look at her Twitter Patreon thing. Oh, she had over £1,200 at one point, and it's down to £604 a month. What an absolute shame. But then someone told me about Graphiton, it's called, and this shows. I've shown part of this before. She had a lot after the whole debacle on August 6th when she slagged off Martin McNeil very unfairly. She had it all shooting up. It actually seems to have rather uniformly-ish gone down. That's a bit bizarre. But anyway, she got it up to, wow, over $2,000 at one point. But then it soon found a level at $1,500, and now she has $600. So, or £600. So, yeah, all gone tits up. Now, Graphiton did used to show the amount of earnings if they didn't make it public, because Top Hat Gaming Man doesn't make it public on his Patreon page. But they seem to have changed things such that you can't now see it. Oh, shucks. And his had fallen off a cliff as well. Even the activity, number of people, number of Patreons, it's fallen off a cliff. Well, it's gone from 157 to 131. He's got it back to 137. But yeah, he'd managed to simp all the way up there. If I just go to 6 months. But he got up to 2. Well, he's just on a downward trajectory in general. God, they might have to go and get a proper job, heaven forbid. So then I thought I'd go and have a look at their Twitter profiles, because obviously people are replying to their tweets. Maybe someone said something about... Maybe they've had the same barrage of shit as I've had today from all the George Cropper simps. Because, people moan about... People say, oh, Dom, you must have brought down George's channel. Well, no. It required multiple things. Now, who are the people who they made multiple slaggings off about? I don't like this pair, obviously, but if you made more videos about anyone, it was Top Hat Gaming Man and Lady Decade. So they're bound to have loads of tweets where they're getting loads of replies to, aren't they? So I went and had a look. Ooh, retweet. Now, they have tweeted sooner than that. Has retweeted something there. December? April 2021? Yeah, so Top Hat Gaming Man has deleted all his tweets going back to as far as July 17th, 2019. Awful curtains. Yeah, so he's just basically deleted all their tweets. I wonder why. Well, let's see what Lady Decade's got to say. I've got a retweet there in April, March, December 2021. So it's amazing they've still kept the retweets of Kim Justice after she slagged them off. But then October 2021, you know where this is going. Blah 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 blah. Retweet. Oh. Only a number of retweets of the person who slagged them off. She's not got a single tweet there on her timeline anymore. She has deleted all her tweets. Tweets and replies. So yeah, she has deleted all her tweets. No tweets from her. And so even though all those other tweets where people have replied to her, they will still exist if you have the URLs. The web links, if you're not sure what URL refers to. Uniform Resource Locator, I think. You can't. If she's deleted the master tweet, as it were, you can't see what they're replying to, even if you had their URLs. So this is not a style for gracious living, is it? Or a necessity for gracious living? Oh mercy. But back to Gorgeous George. And one thing not published yet is a video I've made, which covers a couple of aspects. One is about copyright strikes that he threw at me, and I made this video a couple of weeks ago. I've not put it up because I also then get there's another topic I bring into that video, which I can't I can't publish that online as of yet. So I've decided I will have to hold that part of it back. But I can show you the part that I recorded about the copyright strikes he gave me. Now, when I show this video, I'll add this video in here. He obviously his channel was still up, so I think there's reference where I make that I don't want him to throw another strike at me if I show a clip from his video. Obviously, he can't throw a strike at me if his channel's gone. But obviously, I'm not going to go back and redo a whole video for the sake of one little thing that might not. It might require a bit of a. You might have to go back in time to whenever I made it to make the past tense present tense, if you like. Not that I care. But I'll put that bit in now, and you can let me know all your thoughts about that in the comments below. So here we go. Hello and welcome to another video, and today we're doing the George Cropper Shuffle again, and I've got a few things to talk about here. First up, the problem with the false copyright strikes. Now I mentioned that there was one false copyright strike before. There was actually two, because I had one on one day, I think one on the, oh god, what day was it now? Wednesday the 19th of October. Sort of like kind of lost track in all the fun. I think one on 19th of October, and then one on the Friday 21st of October. So yeah, I didn't want to mention that there was two ongoing at the same time. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to do. So I was just sort of dealing with them in the background. So the first one was this one, Lady Decade's copyright legal bill letter exposed plus something else, and I went through. I'm not going to go through the George Bum stuff that I did before. Because I don't want to bring that up again in the video. I don't want to bring up his video in my video again. But yeah, he was just a disgusting individual with all his alt accounts and shit. So I've gone through all that. Then so there's that one, and then the other one was like a Lady Decade tweets, Patreon collapse, Kim Justice dithers, because she took forever to actually say something about it. Slopes mumbles, and that Discord leak, because that came from his video. So I'm not going to bring that up again on the screen again. I don't want him chancing that again. I don't know whether... Well, I mean, basically what happened with the copyright strikes is that I did the counter action and said to YouTube, these are false copyright strikes. Please disregard them. They then have to go back to him. Why they should pay attention to him in the first place, I don't know. But they have to go back to him legally, and he gets 2 weeks to respond, 2 business weeks. And then for both of those, he didn't even respond. So I think, because I've got some information down. I'll go into one video where he starts talking about lawyer stuff. But he claims to have lawyers. Well, if someone had ripped you off, George, then you would get your lawyer on it. But when you fight a copyright strike, it goes back to the person who issued the copyright strike. They get 2 weeks to say, to sort of deal with it at their end. He didn't. I knew he wouldn't. And then YouTube turned around and say, well, they haven't backed up their evidence of any evidence of copyright strikes, so we'll just cancel the copyright strikes. So our whole channel could be taken down if you've done multiple ones of these, over the sake of just fucking bullshit, which just fucking pisses me off. It's one thing that's completely fucking broken about this fucking platform. So that was on. Yes, I got those sorted out, but that was on. Where were we now? That was the 19th and the 21st of October. On the 20th of October, he threw another copyright strike. So he did throw 3 in one go. But, and I've never had this before. Now I'll read what he said about my video first of all, in terms of why he issued the copyright strike, before I say why they knocked it out the park. His details: copyright owner name, George Cropper; full legal name, George Cropper. I will just say at this point, his name is not George Cropper. I have an idea what it is, what I understand it to be. I'm obviously not going to say that here, but he's not George Cropper. So he's telling YouTube that his real name is George Cropper, and it's not. Well, George, if that is your real name, which it isn't, then that's going to get you into a bit of big trouble with YouTube, because you're saying you're issuing these copyright strikes, and you have to say your full legal name is such and such, and if it's not that, you're in a bit of big trouble. So on your head be it when they deal with you for that. So for this particular video, he just says, let's have a look. Describe the work allegedly infringed. My YouTube video was re-uploaded by another user. So that's what he's saying about me. Now I'm saying it's fair use. That's what I would say. It's fair use. He said, in good faith, state this, that, and the other, and it runs from 5:39 to 40:15 in my video. Country where the copyright applies, and that's his country. I'm not going to say where. He doesn't live in the UK. We know that. Pretty much anyone who knows him or has come across him knows which country he's in. I'm not going to say where, obviously, on this video. But he just says, I'm the owner or an agent authorised to act on behalf of the owner of an exclusive right that has allegedly been infringed. These are things you have to tick every time you submit one of these copyright strikes. I have a good faith belief that the use of the material in the manner reported by complaint is not authorised by the copyright owner, its agent, or the law. This notification is accurate. I acknowledge there may be adverse legal consequences for making false or bad faith allegations of copyright infringement by using this process. I understand that abuse of this tool will result in termination of my YouTube account, and he has been misusing the tool and abusing the tool. So, on your head be it. So he issued a false copyright strike about this video, but I did not get 3 strikes on my channel, because they replied back to him, hi Funky Spectrum, we are concerned, Funky Spectrum is the name of his channel, we are concerned that the copyright notification may not be valid for some or all of the videos identified in your notification. Please keep in mind that in many countries it's legal to use copyrighted works in specific ways without the owner's authorization, particularly for transformative processes such as news reporting, parody, commentary or review. And then it goes on to talk about fair use, fair dealing and all the rest of it. So it was fair use, basically. He then replied to them saying, I am fully correct in applying this takedown and I'm in consultation with a lawyer who agrees. This person does not adhere to the tenets of fair use, and their video contains images and text created by myself, as well as speech by myself. My lawyer advises me that it is definitely not being used for fair use, and was also monetized, which renders it non-fair use under UK law. That's bollocks. Now, please remove the videos. He shall counter them, but I am dealing with a lawyer to follow up each of these claims. It's completely unacceptable that this person is on your channel, and he has just today made a video abusing me, defaming me, and mocking your copyright process. He needs removed for breach of YouTube rules. This is a text from the email. I'm not showing the emails here because I just have to zoom it in. Be a right pain in the bum. Yeah, no pun intended on this moron. Because it's got my email address on there, and I'd have to zoom it in to crop that out, and so on. I can't be bothered. So I'll just read out to you what's on it. Anyway, they then replied to him saying, we received the copyright infringement notification below regarding your videos, because they say below because whenever anyone replies to emails, they reply at the top. So it's been that way for a while. We believe your content is protected by fair use, fair dealing, or a similar. Sorry, this is them talking to me. We received the copyright infringement notification below regarding your videos. We believe your content is protected by fair use, fair dealing, or a similar exception to copyright protection. We are writing to let you know we do not plan to remove your videos at this time. You have control over availability of your videos on your channel, including the ability to delete them if you choose. So basically, he tried to throw a copyright strike over me using this video, and this is the first time I've ever come across this. They basically intercepted it, and not. I mean, they should have done this with the other two in that case, but they've intercepted it and just said, "No dice, we're not playing." And then they told him where to go, and this came in between the two which they did pass on as copyright strikes, and it was just fair use like this one. So very much inconsistency in how they deal with these things, but how they process these things. But trying to get to speak to a human at YouTube is just fucking impossible. So you just have to deal with things on a case-by-case basis. Then we have another video, which now, as I say, as I flick through these on the top, you can see it however you're watching this, but it'd probably be easier on a PC screen if you're watching this. I've left the YouTube URLs in, visible. It'll make sense why later on. Because then we get to the fourth video. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's got his picture on it again. When I talk about him throwing a false copyright strike at my channel, he did the same again about this. Described the work allegedly. He tried to do a copyright strike about this. Described this was like I think this was the 21st of October. What day did I make this video? 20th of October. So he did this around about the 21st, 22nd of October. I forget exactly when without going back to the email, but they're all within a few days of each other. So basically, if you'd had 4 valid copyright strikes, then I'd be up shit creek. But I wouldn't be uploading someone else's copyright without doing the full, without doing the fair use, fair dealings, and all that palaver. So I'm not just if I just took his video and re-uploaded it, fine, that's a problem, and I shouldn't be doing that. But that's not what I'm doing. And if I did that 4 times, 3 or 4 times, then yeah, that would be for me to deal with. Anyway, so he tried to throw a copyright strike at this. Describe the work allegedly infringed, my artwork, title of artwork, funky spectrum, old Patreon banner artwork created by George Cropper. This artwork is used as a thumbnail for this video, and I did not give permission for its use, nor was it requested. Type of artwork, photo, where does the content appear, custom thumbnail. And ultimately, this is the other email, the other copyright strike, where they said again, we believe your content is protected by fair use, fair dealing, etc. So they just, knocked that out of the park. Now, I've got listed down. So I've just been trying to look it up. But the picture of who this is, I forget now. Someone has told me, and I have looked it up and confirmed what they said. I'm sorry if anyone knows who it is. Please comment below. I've completely forgotten who it is who told me, and my brain's like a sieve. Don't get old. And who the person is and how they told me to search for it. Of course, I can't find it via a search on. It was a few weeks ago now. I can't find it via a search on Google now, just with what I thought it was before. Oh, where's my brain gone? Anyway, so that's not George Cropper. I don't know what George Cropper looks like, and I don't really want to know. But he's complaining that I'm using his photo. Yet that's not a photo of him anyway. And his name isn't George Cropper. So, yeah. So we got the 2 copyright strikes sorted out, and then these strikes, they just told him to fuck off. So, good on YouTube for doing that. They actually came through for me. But he didn't stop there, because we had more shenanigans. Yeah, thank you, DJC. It's not an NDA, but we now get to the part where I don't want to bring it up just yet. I will talk about that in a future video, but there's part of the topic I go into detail about, quite a lot of detail. I want to get that resolved first before I bring it for your delight and delectation. So that's where we leave it at this point. I'm getting the blame for everything. I think anyone who, simps for George Cropper is absolutely fucking nuts. You must have rocks in your head. What is wrong with you? Why do you just... he's the most disgusting individual. Horrible, horrible person. Why on earth... I mean, it takes all kinds of people, I suppose. But, there are better people to pay attention to in the world, for many reasons. Not bloody this George Cropper, crying out loud. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there for now. So in the meantime, please like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all the notifications, comment below, and go George! Q Genesis.